Yngwie Malmsteen. Welcome to the Seymour Duncan family.
Thank you.
You remember when we first met, you and I?
Exactly a year ago on
Yeah.
the nose.
That's right.
Yeah.
We had kind of a secret meeting
did.
at the NAMM show, and
Yeah.
we started talking about tone. We started talking about your tone and different ways that we could kind of bring it up a little bit.
What I did was I settled for a quiet pickup. I didn't go as far as to reach for the sonics of the all the harmonic and maybe the exact happy medium of not too hot, not hot enough. For the old one, I settled for quietness, and that was, to me, that was a very good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But sacrificed, I think, a lot of sound just for being quiet.
Yeah.
And lived with it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I said, okay, why not? Why not do this? Go on the quest for the tone, you know,
Exactly.
like you said, and not so much only the tone. Here it becomes more interesting as response, because what this little guy here, these little guys do, they respond to what you do with your hands, and whether you play legato, staccato, hit hard, hit loose, play with your teeth or whatever. I do all of that. It has to respond to what you do. It's almost like a violin with a bow. You know, it's much more organic and physical than some people might think. For me, it is.
Right.
And it all depends on how you pick, how you don't pick, if you play, or pick everything or not picking everything. And so that's what I was going for.
And it really was a quest. I mean, that I think is the right word to describe what we embarked on.
Yes.
We went back and forth with many different revisions, and we started doing some very, very subtle tweaks between the revisions.
Indeed.
But things like what you were just talking about, where you need to have a certain uniformity between when you pick a note and when you do a hammer-on or pull-off.
Exactly.
I don't know if people realize how much the pickup comes into play in those kind of tonal situations. Can you just embark on what that journey was all about and what you were listening to?
Well, for instance, if you use this pickup here and you play that high up, I mean, we're talking about 2 centimeters of string until it's actually picked up. It's a very fast type of information. Mm-hmm. And I mean, say information because that's what this is. This gives the information to the amp, and the amp will translate it into speaker commands and so forth. I realized as we started getting to more, you know, under loop with this, that if we play high up here, whether arpeggios or like picking or not picking, now you don't have the amp on so you can't hear it, but it's very important that the pickup will be happy.
Yeah.
to translate every little thing that you do, especially this high up on neck pickup. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's where it was. That's where we really had to look.
You tell us what you were hearing, what direction you wanted to tweak it in, and we would make changes to the magnet height, the stagger,
Right.
The magnet length,
Exactly.
and of course the number of turns, the gauge of the wire, all that sort of thing. One of the things that's different about these pickups is actually the bottom plate of the pickup is like a traditional Fender Strat pickup. It's made with the vulcanized fiber, and when you look at it, it looks kind of like a vintage Strat pickup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But of course, it's hum canceling, so
Yes.
you lose the 60 cycle hum, or if you're in the UK, 50 cycle hum,
Yeah.
and you've got a quiet pickup.
Yeah.
Now you have a very interesting studio setup that you use for this kind of microscopic analysis.
Well, it's how I record my albums,
Mm-hmm.
and I've done it now since '95. I got this old colonial home. It was equipped with servants' quarters when it was built way back when, you know. And so when I saw that, wow, this would be a good place to put the Marshall cabinets.
Right.
Only cabinets and microphones. So that's in the downstairs area, and it's hardwired through the walls, speaker cables and microphone cables. Mm-hmm. And it goes up in control room, which is on top, where the amps are when I am. So what I listen to is the mic'd up cabinet, right? But under, you know, I can listen to it quiet, I listen to it loud, I can get sustain from the speakers, whatever I want. Mm-hmm. And that's extremely it's a microscopic analysis really of what it will do, what it won't do, you know. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you just fire up a Marshall stack on stage, it's usually okay, you know.
Right.
That's how I record albums anyway. So all my albums since '95 been recorded there. And so that's where, you know, it's gonna, the trial by fire, so to speak.
Yeah.
If he cuts it there, he will cut it anywhere.
Right. Well, I know that's part of the process. I must say, working with you as an artist is very unique because you're extremely particular about what you like and what you don't like.
Indeed.
But if you get what you like, that's it. You know, we're done. It's not like we're going round and round and, you know. Which,
I know what I want.
Yeah.
I know what I want.
Very particular.
Yes. Yeah. And I've always kind of been like that, you know. Mm-hmm. And I never really settled for anything else either.
I guess, you know, that perfectionist mentality is probably what allowed you to achieve your virtuoso level as a player too.
Well, having said that, I'm extremely self-critical as well. I mean, when I play, I don't accept any sort of substandard. Oh, well, I had a bad night or whatever. No, that's just not acceptable, you know. And that's just what I've always been. I don't cut myself any slack on that. You can't be able to say, well, you know, it was the equipment, no, you know, right. It was your own fault.
Well, that's nice to know because for somebody who is such a perfectionist and will not accept anything substandard, I'm glad that we were able to achieve the new Yngwie Malmsteen guitar tone.
Will soon be unleashed somewhere near you.
That's right. So let me ask you, I just got a copy of your recent release, High Impact, which is primarily a compilation.
Right, mostly.
But I saw there was a little bonus track on there.
Indeed, yeah.
That was a Michael Jackson tune.
Mm-hmm. It's Beat It. But it's very, very different from the original in the sense where it's tuned down, you know, like heavy metal.
Right.
And you know, I had Ripper Owens from Priest, you know, singing on it.
So here we are in the engineering department at Seymour Duncan. I got Yngwie Malmsteen here, and we were just talking about the process that we went through designing his new stack pickups. It took us about, I don't know how long.
A couple months.
Yeah, a couple months of really.
More maybe.
Yeah, a few more. I think. Yeah.
But hey, it was well worth it, man.
Pretty intensive work. Yngwie's probably one of the more discerning ears that I think I've ever had to work with.
I think what we really tweaked was the response and how it behaved, you know, on different positions of the neck and stuff. Whereas like legato playing, staccato playing, you know, all that, you know, because it's all full gain stuff.
Right.
So it's a matter of how fast it can respond to, and that's what we got here.
We worked through a lot of different designs on this. You know, we with Yngwie, we were tweaking number of turns with, you know, fractions of a percent. We were working very small gradations in number of turns, the magnet pattern, the height of the magnets, the overall length. There was a lot of variations that we went through, and we were really making some fine adjustments there at the end.
Yeah.
In the beginning, we made some large changes. It was trying to nail down what basic architecture of pickup was going to work for him. We started out our stack pluses, but then you made some comments about how they were too fendery sounding,
because that's what you went for with the replacement, the fender with no noise.
Yeah, I was thinking, that's exactly what we were intending with that pickup.
Right,
was to be fender sounding.
Yeah,
so you know, we sort of just kind of changed gears and went after a totally different design. And then in the end, I think we were talking about getting pickup more flowing and
well, the tone got there pretty quickly. It was the response factor, I think, that we had to work on a little bit. But that, you know, there it is.
Towards the end, we were making really pretty minute adjustments in the way we were winding, not just the number of turns, but the way the magnet wire was laid down on the bobbin and things like that.
Right.
Because when you said, well, I want something more flowing, I thought, I think I know what we need to do to smooth that out just a little bit, you know.
Wow.
So it was an interesting process.
Yeah, amazing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
Had a great time.
Me too.